I beat the main quest on Black Ops 2 Zombies on the lowest round possible. This is the lowest round that you can beat all three maps, and this is exactly how I did it. Welcome back everyone to another video, and today we're on Black Ops 2 Zombies for the first map of Black Ops 2 being the one and only Transit, and we'll be beating this map on the lowest round possible. So I will be doing all BO2 maps on the lowest round possible, so if you'd like to see what the lowest round is for all the BO2 maps, subscribe. So to start our game, we must build the wind turbine with the 3 parts in the spawn room, and also we need to get to 1,500 points. So I ended up getting to 1,600 points, didn't have to be spot on, and then we just add all of the parts separately to that workstation here. We can't hold all of the parts, like all 3 parts like you can in Black Ops 3. You have to get them individually, which is a little annoying, but it's okay. It just takes an extra 5 seconds of my life. So now that we have added all 3 parts, we can grab the turbine, and it acts as a mini power source we can run around the map with. So we're going to use it to power the first 2 doors here to get out of the spawn room. So this is the first door here. We can grab it, place it down again, and then we get the second door open. And then we're able to walk outside and fully take in the map. I actually really like the look of this map. And then there is Ted, the bus driver. I actually really like this map. Also, because I am on PC, I turned off the fog. The fog is so annoying. The map looks 100 million times better without it. So if anyone has a problem with that, they can fight me. And then we end up buying the Olympia. Doesn't exactly look like the Olympia. Yeah, so if you are the Bone 1 or Bone 2 rank, you are actually able to buy the ray gun off the wall. So you basically just need to be a shitter at the game, and then you're able to get the ray gun off the wall at the very start, which is really handy for us because we need the ray gun for a later step. So we can now hop on the bus and then wait for Ted to take us to the next area that we need to go. I'm not gonna lie, every time I play Transit, I have a ball. I actually really like this map. I know it's like considered the most hated zombies map or the worst zombies map, but I have a great time playing it. Apart from the fact that you do have to do a lot of running around, hence why I turned off the fog, because look how much better it looks. But apart from that, I actually really enjoy Transit. I don't know what's wrong with me. Someone can figure that out, but we do have to hop off here because the first step of the Easter egg is building the jet gun, and our first part is here. So we are going to say bye to Ted. See ya. And we need to go look for the first jet gun part. So the first jet gun part is here, and I feel like if I was able to hold more than 1 part at a time, I could do this Easter egg in half the time that it actually takes to do it. So yeah, we got the first jet gun part. Now we need to make our way to the next area. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, see, I feel like this is why people hate Transit so much, because the denizens are on your ass the entire game. Like, it's so bad, but you are able to kill them really easily with the ray gun. But I thought I would just show them, like, harassing me. But you do always have to turn around and, like, shoot them and watch your back. But we have arrived at the diner. Look how pretty this is. I really like the look of this map. I may be crazy, but it's a good map. I just think it was, like, right idea, but I think there is a lot of parts that make it it doesn't gel. I don't know, but I was not bothered to run to the next area, so I just thought, you know what, I'll catch a ride. Ah yes, training a zombie on the bus. See, it's okay when there's 1 zombie on the bus, but if there's anything more than that, then you're in a bit of trouble. So anyway, we do hop off here. Farm, nothing for us to do. So because Ted's gonna stop there and not move for a while, we just book it to the next area. So even though I had the fog off, I still somehow got lost. And that took an extra 5 minutes than it needed to. But we are where we need to be, and we have arrived at town. Now town is very important because there are 2 things that we need to do here. Actually, there's a little bit more than 2. But one of them being opening up the vault. Now, Black Ops 2 doesn't have gobble gums, but it has something probably a lot worse. So we can run in here, go into the bank, and just withdraw all the points we need. How broken? Like, okay, it doesn't have gobble gums, but like we now have money to do whatever we want around the map, which is, I don't know. I mean, it's a cool feature. I guess it's just one of those things where it's like you either choose to use it or you don't. So we run in here now, and then we're able to place the turbine down, which will power up stamina. And this is where we're going to build the jet gun. So we're going to add our first part here, and then we're going to grab stamina because there's a lot of running involved in this map. So I definitely got my cardio done for the day on this map. So yep, we now have stamina, and we have the first jet gun part done. Now we can run up here, and look what's up here, Jug. So we can use the turbine, power it on, and then we have Jug. I think the turbine's a pretty cool feature to be able to use it to power up things on the map without actually having to flip power on, which we now need to go do. But we're going to run into the cabin first, and we're going to grab the Bowie knife off the wall here, which is very, very helpful against the denizens. So that's 3,000 points. But we have enough points. And then the second jet gun part. Cool. Done. So now we can add the second jet gun part, and thank God for video editing because there is so much running involved in this low round, but it's okay. So I'm able to pull out the turbine, and it does make us run a little faster, and then all I have to do is just keep turning around and whacking the denizens. I don't know how many denizens I killed this game, but it was a fair few. Finally, we are at the area where we can turn on the power. So through this little door here where there's a toilet there, it makes a beautiful sound. Perfect. We can turn on the power here. So we need to find the 3 parts to then actually turn on the power. So the first one is here. And yes, I did edit this so that the brightness in this room is so bad. It's like a flashbang. So yeah, I toned it down. You are welcome. So there, the first part is done. And then the second part is just here. We can add that. And then the third part, the little zombie hand. So now that all 3 parts are added, we can turn on the power. And then doing that spawns in this guy. I actually don't know what his proper name is, but I know it sounds like avocado. That's about all I've got. So now that little cute animation's done, we can run into here, and in here is our next jet gun part. So I just look around for it, but I don't actually even know the spawns, but it ended up being down here. So we grab that, and then guess what we have to do? We have to run it back to town. Someone on Reddit said, is there an index for what the lowest rounds are for all the zombies maps? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that for my channel. So it doesn't matter what the Easter egg is. I'm going to do it on the lowest round. So we can now add that part to our jet gun. Now we need one more part. Now we don't actually have to run around the map. We can use these portals here if we use the denizens right below the lamp. But then Ted decided to be a great time to hit me with the bus. So anyway, that created the portal. We jump through and it takes us exactly where we don't need to go. So I just do it over and over until it takes you where I need to go because I'm way too lazy to run. So all you do, you just get the denizen on you, get it close to the lamp, and then it'll open up a portal. So after doing it about 8 times, finally I jump through and it takes us to where we need to go, the cornfields. Now, if we run through the cornfields, we are able to get to Knocked, where our final jet gun part is going to be. So we pick that up, and Richtofen will even tell you when you've collected all the jet gun parts, which is just nice confirmation. But you have to be Stullinger, I think, which is the character that we're using. So now we can finally build the jet gun fully. We have all the parts, we can now equip it, and we can move on to the next step of the Easter egg, which involves us getting a shit ton of kills with it, I promise. Okay, I lied. We're going to whip it out, and then we're going to point it up here, and we're just going to hold down shoot on it, and then it breaks. So that's the next step of the Easter egg. We basically built the jet gun just to break it. So that's fun. But now we need to get 15 kills with explosive weapons, or explosives, I think. But because we have the ray gun, that counts. So we need to get them under the little power grid tower thing there. Now, sadly, since we do have to kill zombies, we are going to end round 1 and we go to round 2. Not only are we going to go to round 2, we're also going to go to round 3. So once we've killed enough zombies, Richtofen will start yapping. That's how we know that we've done this step, but we can also check another way as well. So if we make our way to one of the lampposts and we see that it's glowing and flashing like that, we know that we did the step correctly. So now we have one final thing to do. We need to get EMP grenades out of the box. So we need to make our way to the box. So now we are at the diner, and the box always spawns in this room here. So we're able to hit the box as much as we need. We have more than enough points from the bank to get the EMP grenades. Luck wasn't exactly the greatest, so wasn't able to get it. So now I gotta wait for the box to respawn somewhere else. So the box spawned in at the bus depot, and I hit the box once and once only, and I get the EMP grenade. So we can now do the final step of the Easter egg. Or can we? So the final step of the Easter egg requires us to get a denizen. He needs to create a portal right below one of the lampposts, and then we basically need to throw an EMP grenade, jump, and then once we get out of the portal, throw another EMP grenade, and then that is the Easter egg done. So I throw the EMP grenade, jump, and the game crashes. Now, I also then get into another game, do all the whole Easter egg again, do the exact same thing, game crashes. And then I give it one more go, game crashed again. So then Chris and I spent a whole day doing the Tranzit Easter egg, like 4 or 5 times each, testing different settings because it's such an old game The game crashes so easily if it's even slightly overloaded. The poor guy has done the transit Easter egg over and over just to figure out why it wasn't working for me, so please go check out his channel. So we finally found the right settings and I was able to beat the transit Easter egg. There we go, the tower is lit up and we can now move on to the next map. Welcome everyone to the Die Rise low round world record video. So we beat Transit on the lowest round, now it's time for Die Rise. If you'd like to watch all the previous lowest round videos, or any I make in the future, the playlist will be pinned in the comment section. Now the Die Rise Easter egg can be beaten on round 1, and that's exactly what I did in this game. It's definitely not as challenging as the Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 Easter eggs, but that's just Black Ops 2 zombies for you. Now the idea of this map being set in skyscrapers in China, jumping from building to building, I actually really like. The vibe is awesome, but oh my god, the map layout itself and trying to learn this layout for the first time was like having a blindfold on in a maze while getting hit in the head with a baseball bat. So I was so confused and lost, so that part I wasn't exactly a fan of, but the vibe is sick and it is a cool looking and feeling map. But we are able to once again access the bank, except it's from a shower head. So yep, 25,000 points easy. We have everything we need to do this Easter egg in terms of points. Turn on the power just in here and you got the whole like Chinese sweatshop, which is beautiful. And then Pack-a-Punch is right there, and just because we have the points, I'm like, you know what, why not? I'll just pack this, get the Mustang and Sally's. Just decided to do it because, you know what, because we can. So start the first step of the Easter egg. It does require us to jump on that golden symbol there, so we're just gonna run over it. Now in solo, you only have to do that with one symbol. We are using the mod where you can do this Easter egg solo, and then Richtofen just starts, you know, babbling on as usual. And then now we work on building the Sliquifier, which is the wonder weapon for the map, which we do also need for the Easter egg. So grab the first part and then bring it over to this workstation here and then add the part, and then we have 3 more to get. Second one is right here as well, add that, and then we have 2 more to get. So we get the third part here as well. I do like how early you can get this wonder weapon. I think even if you didn't have the points from the bank, you can still get this wonder weapon very, very early in your game, which, I mean, having a wonder weapon at the start of your game just instantly makes it a little more refreshing to play. So we grab our 4th and final part, and then we add that to the workstation, craft the Sliquifier, and then we already have it round 1. So I actually really like the look of this wonder weapon. I think it looks like really sick. And then when you shoot it, the zombies will slip over on the purple puddle where you've shot. So it's actually a really unique wonder weapon. I actually do really like it. But it is time for us to move on to the next step of the Easter egg. So like in the elevator, how they had those symbols, there are also 4 located around the map, and we just need to run over them until one glows. Now the other issue with this map is that there is a lot of waiting involved. You always have to wait for an elevator to go up or down to go to the next place you need to go. There's no just running to it. So it's definitely involves a lot of going up or down or jumping across buildings. So I mean, it is cool and unique, but it's also a little bit annoying. But here we kind of have like the main cool area where the dragon is, and it is a very good looking map. I just think that the layout stunts it so badly, but I do really like the look of it. I mean, look at that. Look at all the skyscrapers. Yeah, I do really like it, but we still need to find this circle. So check this one here, and it's not here. Then we run to spawn, check this circle here, walk over it, and it does glow. So we have completed that step successfully. Richtofen starts speaking, and I just don't like how only if you're the one specific character, you know that if you're doing steps right or not. So I'm always fast restarting in my game to get stool ninja, but anyway, we move on to the next step, which requires us to grab a sniper rifle. So I grab this one off the wall here, and then we have to snipe 2 balls out of the dragon's mouth. So that's always fun, but luckily I'm low-key a beast with a sniper, but at the same time, they are really not hard shots to make. Yeah, and then the Who's Who's perk. Still don't know what that does, but I'll figure it out one day. Now we can move on to the next step, and after sniping the 2 balls, they have appeared right here on these 2 statues. So all we need to do is just spam shoot the Sliquifier at them until they start spinning like that. And then we just have to do it for the other one. There we go, that step is complete. Richtofen starts yapping. He doesn't stop yapping. So now we need to build the trample steam, and our first part is right there. And we have to get 4 parts, and they are all located around the spawn area. But the annoying part about this is every single time to add it to the workbench or workstation, I have to take the elevator. So there was a lot of waiting for this, but add the first part here. And then it's just like, okay, now I need to wait for this elevator to hurry up. So we grab the second part and then we add that. Then we grab the third part, add that as well. And then the fourth and final part, and we have the trample steam. So now we need to go to the roof. So I have to use this elevator shaft to get down to where I need to go to then go up. And we also need the Galvan Knuckles while I'm here. And I don't know why, but I almost died twice there. Like, I don't know why I couldn't just jump normally. The game wouldn't let me jump, maybe because of the gun I was holding. But yeah, we do need the Galvan Knuckles for a later step. So look, and then this again, like, I was so sloppy doing this. I really just wasn't comfortable, like, jumping on this map. Like, how did I not fall off the map there? I don't know. I just wasn't comfortable or confident. Like, I was, like, trying to tiptoe, but then that's just worse than just, like, just going for it. So there were so many times where I could have and should have died. And then I'm getting lost trying to find where this stupid power place is. This is what I mean by this map just confuses the balls out of me. So after like 6 minutes of traversing the map, we finally make it to the top, and this is like my second time playing Die Rise, so even though I'm gonna beat the Easter egg, I still know nothing about how to get around the map. So anyway, next step at the Easter egg, we have to place a trample steam down on that golden zombie there, and we have to place it facing the radio tower, just ahead up the top there. And so for this next part, you are supposed to get zombie kills with the trample steam, but if you dolphin dive, like that, eventually we'll be able to complete the step without having to get any kills, hence being able to do this Easter egg on round 1. So I literally just do this over and over and over until eventually all the lights start flashing and on the tower, and then we complete this step. Now for the most annoying step of the Easter egg, we need to go around the whole map looking for 8 little tiles like this one, which will give us the combination that we need to punch the tower and end the Easter egg. So each tile has a color, and it gives us either a direction, north, south, east, or west, or the tile will give us a number 1 to 4. So we need to match the colors. So when you have 2 tiles that share the same color, one tile tells you a direction, the other one tells you a number. That number tells you which pole to punch for that direction. So for instance, in this game, we had north as blue, and then 3 as blue. So that tells us that the third pole that we punch needs to be north. So once you match all 4 of the color pairs, you have your order. So in this game, my final order was south, east, north, and west. So we come back to the tower, and then using the Galvan Knuckles, we punch the poles in the final order. And there is the Die Rise Easter egg completed on round 1. And just to let us know that we did complete the Easter egg, we do get all the perks as well. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome everyone to the Black Ops 2 Buried Low Round World Record video. This is going to be a chill and relaxing low round, so enjoy. So we do buy the ray gun off the wall at the Olympia wall buy, and then we jump down and make our way into the main area of the map. Now to start things off, of course, we do the chalk drawing wall buy. The urge I had to skip this just to see how many people would lose it in the comments, was unreal, but I decided not to do it. Anyway, we are in the main area of the map now. I really like Buried. I mean, it is such a unique and cool map. I've only played it a handful of times, but it's just so different to everything else that I've ever played. So anyway, we have Leroy here, or Arthur, whatever you call him. I call him Leroy. So we grab the key and then we unlock him. We're going to use him to open up the map as much as we can by feeding him booze. So yeah, we're gonna get him lit, and in that he's gonna get angry. Bit of an alcoholic, but it's okay. There we go, and he breaks the barrier. So we're gonna use him to open up a good amount of the map because there's a lot of barriers that we actually have to unlock. Now we have the saloon here. This is the other little area of the map, and then we have power up there. But to start things off, of course, we're going to make our way into the bank. And the bank is where I'm just going to absolutely unload on as many points as I can. Now, somehow, I'll grab like 50k, 55k from the bank and still burn through it. So you'll be able to see that in this video. Alright, now we've made our way out of the bank. I am going to grab the Galvan Knuckles chalk because we do need that for a later step of the Easter egg. If you'd like to see all my previous low round world record videos, the link for the playlist will be in the comments and it will be in the description, and we turn on the power. Power is on buried, hell yeah. So we now use the chalk to draw the Galvanknuckles wall by. Now, I don't necessarily need the Galvanknuckles, it's more if I fail a step later, we definitely will need them, so... Now we need to make our way into the saloon because we gotta start shoving booze down Leroy's throat because we need a lot of the map open. Now I've dealt with a few alcoholics in my time, and I think Leroy's probably my favorite, so he at least does something like useful for me. Because look, we're gonna use him to open jug, so we have to get him facing the opposite way, and then we give him the booze. He goes for a run and smashes into the barriers, and then boom. So we do grab Jug. Also, we do have perma perks on this game, so for buying Jug, I do get some extra points. So now I just need to get Leroy to open up a lot of the map, and then anytime that I need more booze, I can just come to the saloon and grab them from the cash register, and 1,000 points, and I have more booze. Let's go. So I need him to destroy the debris just there, and then also the debris next to the gunsmith. And then also in the next area, we're going to get him to destroy the water fountain, and then the debris in front of the witch's house, and then also the debris so we can get into the church. And in the church, we're also going to buy Vulture's Aid while we're at it. I'm actually such a bad influence or enabler on this dude. Like, all I do is give him alcohol and candy. I am not doing this guy any good. So we're at the mystery box now, and if we give him candy next to it, he's gonna slap the mystery box and then it will not move, which is good for us because we need 2 things from the mystery box, so we're gonna be hitting it a fair few times. First thing we need from the box, the Paralyzer Wonder Weapon for this map. Such a sick looking Wonder Weapon. Look at this! Oh, someone put on their creative hat when they were making that Wonder Weapon. The next thing that we need from the box is the time bomb, but I tried everything I could. I could not get the time bomb. It took me so long to get it. Like, usually when I was practicing this, it would I'd get it first or second hit, and then Paralyzer just straight after that. This was the longest that it took for me to get what I needed. So I had to come up with a new strategy. I decided, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll point my ray gun at all 4 corners of the box, then I'll do a 360, then I'll punch the teddy bear, I'll hit the box, go prone, and it works. Time bomb every time, I'm telling you. Definitely try that in your game. It will work every game. So now I just have to go and get the individual parts for the guillotine. There are 4 around the map, and again, still a little annoying that you can't hold more than 1 part at a time, but that's just Black Ops 2. Thanks, Jimmy.
Approaching the climactic moment. Oh, it feels good, yeah.
Now I actually get to use the Paralyzer, but just to shoot orbs. Let's go. I just shoot it until it goes from like red to white. It makes a ding noise, and we have to do that for 4 different orbs. But to get to the 4th orb, we have to make our way into the witch's house. So yeah, we're basically just gonna have witches spawning constantly in here. This is by far my least favorite area of the map, but double tap is also here, so I also decide to grab that. It's like in life, if you let the wrong women get too close, they're just gonna take all your money off you, and that's exactly what these MFs do. Anytime they touch you, they take 2,000 points. And I have a habit of just absolutely straight lining it through this house, so I would always run into them. I wouldn't take it slow, and bang, all my money's gone. Yeah, women. But now we jump down, and we are in the maze area of the map, but we are only here right now for the last orb that we need to shoot with the Paralyzer. So we shoot the final orb, and then I have all the witches spawn on me, and I'm killing them, and then I see a nice glowing perk bottle, and I decide, oh, that looks shiny, I'm going to touch that. And then I stand here and realize that I now can't buy stamina up, so now I have Mule Kick, which is kind of useless to me, but that's my own fault. So if I shoot the ray gun at the fountain here in the maze, we have a nice little portal that I can jump through, so we jump through that, and it takes us to the top of the map where we first spawned in. So now that we've shot all 4 of the orbs with the Paralyzer, a glowing lantern will spawn in, and we need to cook and throw a grenade at it, and that will get it to drop from the sky. And in doing that, I accidentally upset Leroy. He started running away from me. So now we need to fill up the lantern by killing the money-hungry witches, and their souls get collected, and you can hear the ding noise, like that. And then when we've done enough, Richtofen will start speaking and saying that it's full.
Oh, no. Juicy cause juiciness. Oh! You must use
Now that the lantern is full, I can bring it over here, add the part, and then a code will appear on the wall. And you got to use a solver for this. So I put the solver on screen now. So in my game, it ended up being dry, bone, and consumption. Now we need to smack the signs with a melee attack. However, we can do this in any order. So this was the order that I did it in. So I punch dry, and then I punch consumption, and then realize, oh, I don't have enough points. So we take a nice little trip to the bank just to, you know, refresh the wallet a little bit. And then the key respawned here because when I annoyed Leroy by throwing the grenade at him, he then locked himself away in his jail cell. So now I go and unlock him and he seems to be happy again. So now that I have more money, I can clear the debris and get to the final sign, which is bone. So we're able to punch that. We punched all 3 signs correctly and a wisp spawns in. So now, I didn't have stamina up, so I was kind of freaking out about this because for some reason, this would always take me 2-3 tries to do. But in this game, I actually ended up doing first try, which is really, really good for me. So I was like, oh, this seems like a little bit of a run. So now that we have chased the wisp back to the guillotine is now going to charge zombies. And then we need to kill those charged zombies. Now, in a normal game, you would kill these zombies normally, or you can use Leroy. So we buy candy, feed Leroy, and he's going to get the kills for us. And this is the only step in the Easter egg where you have to kill zombies. So we're actually going to have a 0-kill game. So now that that has finished and we have the 5 zombie kills, we now move on to probably the hardest step of the Easter egg, or the step that I actually struggled with the most, where we need to now use the time bomb on the guillotine. We need to go back in time, and now we need to run around frantically trying to find the Victus crew bodies looking for a switch. Now, if I had $1 for every time I died on this step trying to do this and learn this Easter egg, I'd have a lot of money. I would have a lot of money. So there's a lot of locations that we do have to check, and in this game, I had barely anybody spawn in, but on this one right here, I was able to find the switch that we need, and there we go. So now all I need to do is just survive, and the zombies are going absolutely crazy on round infinity. Then eventually we get pulled out. It's not actually that hard of a step. I just think that I would get myself trapped, or I was learning how to use a paralyzer to jump over things. And when you're doing anything for the first couple times, you got to take a few hits to actually know what you're doing. So we add the switch to the guillotine. Now we move on to the next step. For this step, we need to find 4 different colored levers in the maze area, and we have a specific order that we need to flip them in. So it's basically just trial and error. So I flipped all 4 of mine and none were correct. So I had to do a completely different order, and in doing the different order, I got 2 of them correct, which were the first 2. So the first 2 that I did get correct, I did the same the 3rd time around, and the 2 that I didn't get correct, I just switched them around, and boom, we got all 4 levers correct, and that is that step done. So now we're on to the final step of the Easter egg. So I grab the PDW chalk, draw that, and then buy that off the wall buy. So now we can start the sharpshooter step, which is the last step of the Easter egg. So all we need to do is make a wish in the fountain, and then there are going to be targets that spawn in. We need to shoot them. We have 19 targets we need to hit. We can only afford to miss 2, and if we do that successfully, we get all perks on the map, and we beat the buried Easter egg solo on round 1. And if we run up to the top of the map here, as you can see by the smoke there, the little blue bits, that tells us that we did it correctly. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Now, as a bonus for completing all 3 Easter eggs and nav cards, we can get the Super Easter Egg Completion Reward, which is a final voice quote from Richtofen. Now, the reason I had to get into another game to do this is that if I had pushed the button on the buried round 1 game, it can glitch and not give you the voice quote. So I decided to do it separately to not risk having to do all the Easter eggs again. You also get a permanent fire sale and a 4-gun mule kick. So enjoy the reward of completing the Super Easter Egg on Black Ops 2.
Finally, I am in control! The ether is mine to manipulate as I wish! The moon is now my own personal plaything! What? Your actions condemn my daughter's very soul to eternal damnation! Even if you do not care for her, surely you wish to return to your own body!
Not really, no. Won't I already possess the power to leave this netherworld and re-enter the physical realm once more? I can choose anybody I wish! As for you, Maxis, you will simply cease to be. Auf Wiedersehen, Toodles!
No!
Take a deep breath, Samuel. We're about to get a whole lot closer. Ah, last I am... Oh, what's the word? Corporeal? No. Physical. Whatever. I have my very own body! I can touch. Yeah. I can feel. Oh, I can smell. Oh, maybe that's not such a good thing. What is that stink? No. Wait. Oh, something's wrong. I'm struggling to control my movements. Okay, maybe I just need some practice.
Hey! What's going on?
Oh, Samuel! You're still here? Okay. This is a little awkward. It's really not that different how things were before, Sammy. We get to talk to each other, play games, have fun. It's really quite exciting. You'll like the fact that we're going to be eating more salad. That doesn't come in a bowl. But I do understand, Sammy. Just carry on as normal, and I'll try to leave you alone for a while.